Welcome everyone to this session of Lean Agile Delivery and Coaching Network and Digital Transformation in London. Today we have the presentation of a new game that is at the moment on Kickstarter. We have our game designer here with us that will introduce the game. The reason why I am so happy to organize this event is that you know that I am a fan of experienced learning. And Ionah gave me the opportunity to test a couple of sessions with this game that has had a very interesting side effect talking about serious application of a classic board game. And I don't want to spoil anything because Ionah will present the game, but what I really like of this game is the scenario where this is happening and also the strategy to balance resource management that is particularly intriguing, I would say, particularly interesting consider the scenario that Ionah has created. So that's all from me at the moment. So I will give the stage to Ionah that will introduce the game. Thank you, Ionah, to share this with us.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. And so good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for joining me today. And as Corrado introduced, my name is Ionah Nguyen, and I'm thrilled to be the speaker today. So before we begin, I would like to extend a special thank you to Corrado again for helping to host this workshop. And your support has made the event possible, and very grateful for that. Thank you. Yeah. And so I wonder how many of you are business leaders or business coaches who are looking for an innovative way to improve your company training activities. So, you know, in a world nowadays where business challenges are becoming more complex and traditional training methods often fall short, what if like there was a way to learn by doing, where you could test a strategy, take risks, and see the consequences in a free risk environment? What if you could make learning to make smarter business decisions while having fun? Yes, so that's the topic for today. That's where game-based learning comes in. I'm excited to share with you in the next couple minutes how game-based learning can help you and your teams develop a critical business skill in a way that's not only effective but also enjoyable. I will also introduce to you a game that I have designed, a tech race, and demonstrate how it helps participants to improve their business skill. Okay, so let's dive. All right. So first, let me introduce myself, my business background. So I was born and raised in Vietnam, but my love for business and strategy brought me to the US, where I earned my MBA from Duke University. And I had more than a decade of working in business and the tech industry. I was a senior product manager at Amazon and a chief of staff at an AI startup in the past. But my true passion lies at the intersection of business strategy, leadership training, and game design. And that passion led me to found Brainy Hearty, a board game studio based in Seattle, where we create educational board games that not only entertain but also educate and enrich players worldwide. So the game I present to you today, Tech Race, is a business strategy board game that simulates the challenges of running a tech startup. All right, so now here's the agenda, and think of this as your roadmap for the next 45 minutes. So we will start by exploring games, which is such a powerful tool for learning, especially when it comes to making smarter business decisions. I will introduce to you Tech Race, and I will walk you through the basic of how to play the game and show you a live demo on Tabletop Simulator. And then we will show you how your decisions in the business world can be mirrored in the game, from market strategy to cash flow management and so on. Yeah, and we will hear some testimonials who are from the players who have played tech race. And finally, I share with you some exclusive offers for the participants of the workshop today. And of course, we wrap up with some Q&A. So you ask any questions you have about game-based learning, tech race, and anything you have. Okay, so let's get started. Now, let's start with a simple question. Why use a board game to teach business skills? The answer lies in how we learn best. Traditional training methods, like lectures or case studies, are often passive. They tell you what to do, but they don't let you practice it in a meaningful way. So games, on the other hand, are active, immersive, and engaging. So here's why they work so well. So first, in a game, you have hands-on experience. You're not just listening or reading, you're making decisions. Whether it is like allocating resources, entering new markets, or negotiating with other players, you actively applying concepts in real time. And a good strategy game can be also real-world simulation, so it gives you practical challenges to solve. And second, playing games is fun, engaging, and memorable. So traditional training can be very dry, but games, by contrast, super fun, right? So it boosts engagement. When you have fun, you're more likely to stay focused, retain information, and it sticks longer to you, right? So, and the third point is develop strategic thinking. So think of game as, it helps you to force you to think ahead. So whether it is like you need to think of long-term resource allocation or anticipate competitors' moves, games trains you to think strategically. And next, it is a risk-free experimentation, right? So in the real world, mistake can be very costly, but in a game, you can test strategy, you can take risks, you can learn from failure. So all of that without any real world consequences. So this safe environment encourages creativity. And of course, games also bring people together, and it encourages collaboration and competition in a good way. And you develop communication, persuasion, teamwork skills, all while having fun. And finally, the game can be customizable. Whether you are in tech, finance, or healthcare, the lesson could be adaptable for any organization. And games like Tech Race, the game I design, can also be tailored to fit your industry, team, or specific niche for trainings. All right. And now that you know why games are such a powerful tool, let me introduce to you Tech Race, the game I designed to make business strategy fun and impactful. So what is Tech Race? So it's a business strategy board game that simulates the challenges of running a tech startup. So you step in the shoe of a CEO and you make decisions about growth, cash flow, hiring, innovation, and market strategy. And here's a quick rundown. So you can play with 2 to 5 people. So it's perfect for a small team, a group of friends, or even a family game night. And a full game can take about 90 minutes. It's designed for age 14 and up. And we saw families with teens playing the game and they love it so much. And so think of it as a way for you to teach your child about business. And so here's the game mechanics. They are designed to mirror real-world business challenges. So you have engine building, and you have to hire, train your employees, and it's like build your company structure from the foundation for growth. And then we have resource management as another mechanics. So just like a real startup, you have to navigate financial, technological, and human resources, to make tough decisions in the game. Trading and negotiation, you can exchange resources and advantage during the game. You try to balance between cooperation and competition, just like in real world business. And finally, there's a very fun mechanics which I designed uniquely for this game, which is lobbying and bidding. So, in the real world tech companies, lobby the government all the time. So in this game, it's super fun that you can also lobby the government. So you secretly bribe the government to influence the policy. But you either win or lose, you still have to pay your price to the government. So it's like a mind game that you have to think how much that you should bribe to outwin the other players. So this mechanics would teach you about risk management, bluffing, and the unpredictable nature of business and policy making. Okay, so think of this game as a crash course in running startup, but with no real world risk. So you face the same tough decision as a real CEO. And it's just not just a game, but it's a learning experience that teach you some fundamental business lessons. All right. And now, so let's talk about how to play tech race, and don't worry, it's easy to learn than you thought. So here's the basic. The goal is simple. You build the most successful tech company by earning valuation points. The game plays out with maximum 9 rounds, and each round has 3 phases. Starting phase, this is where you build your dream team, and you have to hire and train your employees. But at the end of the day, you have to pay your payroll. So if you run out of cash, not able to pay your employees, you lose valuation points as penalty. And then action phase, and every time you have to put your team to work, you can use your employees to, get customers, serve the customer, expand into new markets, or develop new technology. But every decision matters, so you have to choose wisely. And the third phase is lobbying. So this is where things get interesting. So you bid to influence policies that can give you an edge or throw your competitors into chaos. Yeah, so you need to negotiate, collaborate, and sometimes outsmart others to come out on top. Okay, and the game ends after 9 rounds, or when somebody hits 100 valuation points. The player with the most points wins. All right, now I will show you some demo on Tabletop Simulator. I'm not sure if you can see my screen. Can you see the Tabletop Simulator screen? No? Okay, so maybe I had to switch the screen real quick. All right. All right, can you see it now?
Something is arriving.
No.
We see the screen that is black.
Oh, okay. I think I get some technical issue on my end. Sorry about that. Sure. Okay, so here's is a game on Tabletop Simulator. And if you can see, we have like 5 players, but now it's only me. But then, yes, so the game has a setup for either 2 or 3 players or 4 to 5 players. So let's do it for 2 to 3 players. And I love Tabletop Simulator because it's very convenient for you, to play the game online. But then, yeah, we will look at the map. Let me zoom in closer. Here. So here's a map. In the map, there could be like different regions, and the demand cubes will be pulled from the back, like randomly distributed on the map. So 3 regions, and some regions are bigger than others, and there are more demand on the region than other. Each cube here represents a customer. So in the game, you may want to get customers, so obtain the cubes and serve the customer. But yes, there are 3 types of customer, and they represent the three industry: biotech, automotive, or energy. And then each player will have a company board. Let me show it. Here you go. So this is my company board. So you can see there are 9 company positions, And so you will see junior level employee with a number 1 icon on them, and manager level employees with number 2 icons on them. And the employees are in different departments. So the HR office team, the sales team, the marketing and finance team, and we have engineering teams and research team. Yep, so each employee will perform different actions. So in same as in the real world, you have HR to help you grow your team faster. You have sales to get customer. You have marketing to generate demand, finance to increase valuation or earn some money for your company, and engineering. So in a tech company, engineering team is like to serve the customer. So they build products, they serve the customer. And so the more engineering capacity you have, the more customer you can serve in the revenue zone. And then we have research scientists in the tech tree on the corner. So in the tech tree, you will see different type of techs. And you have automotive, energy, and biotech with 3 different levels. The higher levels of tech you can develop, the higher revenue it can earn for each customer you obtain. All right. Okay. So how's the game work? So in staffing phase, you will get the employee token. So every player will have 2 employee tokens, and then you place the token on top of any employee you want. So for example, you want to hire a sales rep, just put 1 token on here. And so every round you will receive 2 tokens. You want more, you can hire the HR officer to get more token. Sorry, I guess jump. Okay. And yeah, if you want to train an employee from level 1 to level 2, just slide and move the token from level 1 to level 2, but it counts 1 action. And every round you'll only have 2 actions for either hiring or training an employee. Yeah, so that's how you build your employees, your company. And when you do that, you have to pay an employee salary. So the junior employee costs 1 coin, the manager costs 2 coins, but you pay them every round. So this is an employee, a payroll checker for you to track the total salary that you have to pay your employee. So every time you hire a person, the payroll would increase by 1. So yeah, easy to check. And then, yeah, so as I said, you use your employee in your turn by your just perform the action like the sale would help you to get customer. But at the beginning of the game, you need to choose where in the map, on the map, you want to put your first office. So you put your office. This is my office. And so I choose like this region, for example, then I put my office here. There are 3 different regions. So you need to think where, like what region you want to enter and what type of customer you want to get, because you need to develop the tech to get the exact customers type. So for example, I want to choose like the automotive tech. As at the beginning of the game, you get 1 free tech. But later in the game, you have to collect the tech resources to develop new tech or unlock another technology type. Yep. And so with automotive tech available, now I can get customer of the same color. So the automotive tech, automotive customer. If I place my office here, then I can get this customer. I will get ZQ3. Here to the customer waiting zone. And if, for example, if I have an engineer, then I can move customer to the revenue zone and start serving them. When the customer queue run out, I can actually hire a marketing officer. So I need another employee token to do that. Yes, so that would be for the next round. I may hire marketing officer so that I can pull more demand from the back to the map. So that's the situation when the demand run out. All right. So yeah, and then at the end of each round, you earn revenue from the customer. So with one customer on the level 1 column, you earn 1 coin. And then you have to pay the salary. Let's say like you have like 3 employees here. And so the total salary you have to pay is 3. Then you earn 1 and pay 3, which means you earn -2. Your net income is -2 in this route. So you had to pay. So every player start with some initial money, like 5 coins. But then you have to manage your cash flow to make sure that you earn more than paying salary every round. Yeah, so basically that's how it works. There's a lot more rules than that, but I will just walk you through your the basic thing of how this game works. All right.
Just a comment, Ionah. I put in the chat the link to the rule book. So if you want to have all details about the rules, you can simply click the link. Please go ahead.
Awesome. Yeah. Amazing. Okay. Yeah. Yes. If everybody wants that, you can reference the rule. But yeah. So this workshop today is not just to teach you about the game, but I want to demonstrate like the benefits of applying games in training. So let me come back to my slide. All right. Awesome. Great. Okay. So yeah, that's a quick demo of a tabletop simulator now. Now let's talk about the real-world business lesson you learned while you're playing Tech Race. So first up, the market strategy, market entry decisions. So in the game, you face the same tough choice real business do. Do you go after a competitive market or create demand in the niche? So you remember when I show you the map of the game and you see different regions, some with bigger demand, some have a lower demand. And you also, at the beginning, each player will choose what region they want to start with, where they want to put their initial office. And so normally if everybody's want to go after the high demand market, then that market would be also very highly competitive, right? And so it's your choice. Like you can enter a high demand but competitive market or enter a low competition but low demand market. And when you choose the option 1, you definitely have to consider the competition and the demand. You want to grow fast, which means you need to scale your team, both sales team and engineering team to meet the demand. So that you can outpace your competitors. You want to upgrade your existing products to earn higher revenue so that you can improve customer retention, because in the game, you can also steal customer from other competitors if your tech company, your tech product is better than them, which means you have developed your tech to a higher level than your competitors. Yeah. So competition is fierce, and if you can't keep up, you will lose ground. So that's a risk when you enter a high demand competitive market. For players who choose to enter a low competition market, the choice is different. So you need to focus on marketing to create demand, and you might grow slower, but if it runs out of demand, then you might fall behind. Yeah, so you need to also invest in R&D for long-term growth, so that you can start developing new technology or develop products for other categories so that you can get other type of customer. So you need patience, but a clear vision for the future, right? So both options have their pros and cons, just like real business. And there's just one example of how Tech Race mirrors real-world challenges. By playing, you will learn to think like a CEO and make smart decisions in market entry. And then we have resource and cash flow management lessons as well. So you will learn how to make every dollar count, just like in the real world. So here, how's the game teach you to manage resources wisely? So first you need to manage resources. So you need to decide where to invest your limited funds, R&D or marketing or sales or hiring. Not all investment are equal. You need to prioritize what gives you the biggest return. And whether it's developing new tech or capturing the most customer or entering, like opening new offices in another region. And then you have to balance your expenses where you are with your revenue. You scale too fast, you might run out of cash. And I have seen a lot of players struggling with managing cash flow when playing these games because they only start with 5 coins. So very limited budget, like a small startup. But then over time, they have to grow their business. They have to hire more people, but at the same time, stay cost effective. They don't want to run out of cash very soon because you face penalties like lose valuation points. At the same time, you have to downsizing your business. Yeah, so you feel the pressure managing a budget while trying to grow your company. And it's a crash course in financial discipline and strategic planning. It's a lot more fun than staring at a spreadsheet, right? All right. And then we have workforce management. So now let's talk about this is one of the most important part of running a business, which is your team. So in Tech Race, you will learn how to build and manage a workforce without breaking the bank. You want to build the most efficient your company structure. And so the game teaches you how to handle the workforce management, when you should hire aggressively or when you should, fire people. The game gives you the option to fire employees when you have to save costs. But yeah, so you need to balance that. Like you need to grow your company by hiring and training. But then you have to know when to hire, when to reduce staff, and then when you hit a tough time, you have to do downsizing. And so who stays, who goes? You really need to think, and you have to prioritize the roles that drive the most value for your company. All right, yes. So yeah, so again, your team is your greatest asset in every business, and but also your biggest expense. This game teach you that lesson, and so you try to build a high performing team with managing cost and making tough calls when needed. Cool. And another lesson is the balance between cooperation and competition. So in business and also in this game, you need to decide when to work with others and when to outplay them. So Tech Race will teach you how to navigate this dynamic when you learn when to compete. For example, you want to get customer faster than other players, you want to develop tech knowledge like faster than everybody else. So competition will is challenging, but you need to do that. You need to anticipate your competitors' move and stay one step ahead. But at the same time, you have to learn and decide when to cooperate. And you team up with others to exchange resources. The game allows you to exchange tech resources when needed. And you have to form alliances when you influence policy, you lobby the government. So, each player will, go for the policy that benefits them the most. But then you have to form alliances to convince others to vote for the policy that really benefit you. Yes, so collaboration can be a game changer. Sometimes working together give you a bigger advantage than just going alone, right? Yeah, so that's how you in this game you have to constantly weigh the benefits of competing versus cooperating, and it's a delicate balance. But mastering it can mean the difference between winning and losing the game. All right. And yeah, so we'll just walk you through like some business lesson in tech race. And yeah, so again, tech race is applicable for business training. So it's for leadership training. You learn about making strategic decision making. You learn about risk management, and you need to develop the vision and long-term planning when you play this game. But at the same time, it's also teach you a lot of business lessons. So you perform market analysis while playing the game, and you have to you will have to understand financial, you have to manage cash flow. So it give you some very tough challenge about business to solve. But that's after playing the game you feel like, okay, so now I have some sense of doing business. And it could be also a great way for your team building exercise. So it have you to develop skill in teamwork, and your employees or your team members can, collaborate with each other. So you develop communication and negotiation skills. It's also strengthen teams and synergy, because now everybody need to, look at others' perspective, understand competitors, and talk out loud to share your how you want to collaborate. So it's definitely a great tool for team building exercise. Yeah, and so we have brought tech race to many conventions worldwide. We brought it to Essence Spell in Germany, to Origin in US, or ZenCon in US. They are on biggest board game convention in the world. And we have reached players worldwide, and even in Thailand, in Vietnam, and we receive many good feedback from the so, yeah. And so this is a video. Listen to how our players talk about tech race.
Definitely recommend checking it out if you are interested in exploring business, interested in making money, being a tech mogul.
Started with a small company and had a great time making it really, really big. I researched lots of technologies, dominated all the sectors.
I feel like you are the CEO. You're hiring employees. You're finding the demand in the market. You're moving your company around.
All of the CEOs have their own art cards and their own perks, and it's really fun to look at the CEOs and the knockoff company names.
Engineer, I found it well developed for the concept. It was quick, straightforward, and also complex enough to keep me interested.
I do well and still had a blast. That's like, you know, you got a good game, right? I'm so glad that my last moment at this playing. Had a great time, and I won.
All right, yeah. So that's some of the testimonials that we received from our players. And yeah, and so yeah, so I guess we talk a lot about game-based learning, how tech race can help you to improve your business training. And here's our special offer for you. And so our campaign has been on Kickstarter for a while, and unfortunately we haven't received like enough funding because we didn't really figure out the right market product fit for our game. On the time I have tried to promote the game to the hobbyist community, so people who love to collect board games, but unfortunately as we haven't really reached the right target audience, and we decided to repositioning the game to a little bit, because actually people appreciate the game for its educational value, and so it's not very appropriate for a Kickstarter campaign. But so we decide to do another campaign, but not a Kickstarter crowdfunding one, but a pre-order campaign, and we will launch it very soon. So we will offer the game at a special discount to our early buyers, and if you want, you can follow us to pre-order the game. We can also make customized game for your company based on your training needs. And so tech race can be adapted to any country, any industry, any teams, any functions. We can also provide a facilitated training, and I can walk you through how the game plays, and gives game to your employees and facilitate a session, and we will see how the game your team can learn by your playing the game. All right, I think so now it's time for Q&A.
Yeah, thank you, Ionah. Any question?
I have one. So yes, thank you, Ionah. It was very fun to follow you explaining how the game works. It's very interesting. I was wondering if you had any case studies where companies have used it and made certain business decisions.
All right. Yeah. So unfortunately, we haven't really brought the game to any company yet. So as I shared earlier, so we have been following a quite wrong strategy for tech race. Yeah. So after developing the games, we have tried to promote the game as to the hobby community. Yeah. And we haven't really introduce the game to any companies yet, but I think that could be a next step for us. Yep, and we really hope the game could be helpful for business training, and so we will follow this direction moving forward.
Right, thank you.
Maybe I can provide a clue to what you asked, Alina, because actually I also didn't have the opportunity to play in the company, but I had the opportunity to play a session with some colleagues for fun, not for a real serious session. And in particular, I needed to highlight that we played the game in 8 using the 4-player options, where actually each company was led by 2 players. Okay. So actually all the, let me say, collaboration and communication skills increment that Ionah mentioned were absolutely, let me say, powerful during the game, because actually it was really fun to see some colleagues discussing about, okay, I want to make an improvement in the innovation. No, we want to sales more. And so there was this intriguing discussion inside the company where to invest money. So this is probably at the moment the closer situation that I have seen, but I like this game just for this kind of usage, frankly speaking.
And so in that case, it was useful for team building, would you say?
Yeah, team building, yes, but also, I mean, we didn't see the game in action, and actually, just for your information, in the Kickstarter page, there is also a link to a real session completely recorded on Twitch. Okay. What I really think it's interesting is the balance between, let me say, the idea to increase sales to earn more customers, increase engineering to satisfy the customers, but at the same time, you cannot underestimate the innovation, because actually the number of customers that you have in your region is limited. So at a certain moment, you must invest in innovation. And what we noticed in the 2 sessions that I played is that it's really a game changer where you move from level 1 to level 2. So actually, it's really, I mean, the market dynamic completely change if you are the first to improve your, let me say, technology, okay? That is exactly the dynamic of a startup, if you think. If you are the first to arrive with a new product on that market, you will destroy the concurrence, okay? And I think it's really, I mean, it's a game, okay? It's a simulation, so clearly it's a simplification, but I really like the way the game is balanced.
Thank you so much, Corrado. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you both.
Yeah, I would also want to add that in order to make the game more applicable to business training, we will make the game less complex than it is at the moment, because right now the game can be played up to 2 hours, depending on the number of players. But if we use this for corporate training, we will remove some complex rules, but we will still keep the essential business lessons in the game. Yeah.
Yeah, good idea. Good idea. Just one more comment from me. I really love the way the influence politics is working. I mean, in terms of mechanic, it's very easy, and it's absolutely fun the way actually the players can collaborate to, let me say, work together to influence a very precise policy instead of the others. It was fun just to make you laugh. I played the game few days after the event when Trump met the AI community of investor in US, and it was so fun to play this game in this way, thinking about that situation. Okay. Anyway, this is just for fun, clearly. Okay.
Yeah. So let me add to that. So the policy in the game really is like a mock of the tech industry, so the real one. So we try to make hilarious policy, something like AI empowerment, where you're in the game you can fire your engineering to boost your startup valuation, like you increase the stock price whenever you fire people, and you let AI replace your engineers. So
Sounds
it's
very
like,
familiar.
yeah.
I've not heard it, seen it before many times.
Yeah. And so it's like you as a CEO in the game, you have to choose whether you want to be a good boss or an evil boss, in the tech industry, right?
Yeah, I could definitely see this, how it could benefit running this type of exercise with particular people in particular roles, just to perhaps drive some points home about how certain decisions can impact the company overall. Yeah, it would be nice if it would be nice to see you having some case studies with these type of scenarios, and to see what the companies decide to do based on what they learn from the game. So yeah, wish you good luck. I'll definitely be following
Thank you.
what you're doing.
Thank you so much, Ionah.
Any other question from Ionah?
Just adding to Alina's point, have you ever thought of sort of having, instead of starting tech race at the beginning, actually sort of having a real situation, such as, I don't know, Microsoft versus OpenAI, or versus, and so you can actually start with slightly different balances already pre-done, like scenarios.
Can you elaborate more on, like, you want to incorporate that real world situation into the game, or what do you mean by that?
So at the moment, you've designed the game so that everyone's starting a startup with the same, they potentially have the same characteristics. But if it was 10 rounds not 10 rounds, but 2 or 3 rounds in, you might find different sort of startup positions which are roughly equal, but it lets one company be, no names here, one being Meta, one being Microsoft, one being Google, one being something, that gives a person an idea, well, it's set up this way, and it lets people maybe play as something as an alternative. So it's more like a scenario. And then they can understand what the decisions were for that company, because you might be able to map real life situations, like Alina was, I think it was Alina was suggesting.
Thank you.
Backwards, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. And actually, that's something I forgot to share. So in the game, and yeah, let's see, freezing again. But not sure if you can see my tabletop simulator.
No, we can't, Ionah.
Okay, sorry
Just
about that.
describe it. Your words are good anyway.
But so actually we have CEO cards in the game. So at the beginning, And I forgot to tell you about that. But at the beginning, like each player can choose a CO card. So either randomly or like intentionally. So they pick the CO card they like. And there could be different skills for each CO. So for example, I have Amazon CO. Instead of Amazon, is Amazon, where you have the power of hiring people faster than everybody else. Or like Tesla CEO. So instead of Tesla, I have Tesla. So as a Tesla CEO, you can develop any automotive tech with fewer resources than other
So
players.
you've already got that sort of scenario idea.
Yes, I do have that in the game. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Good point, Stephen. Good point.
Yeah, appreciate that. Cool.
Okay. Any other question? Okay.
Sorry, me again.
Yeah, go.
What's
Absolutely.
the
Yeah, go ahead.
funniest thing you've seen when someone played?
What's the fun things?
Yeah, the most fun thing or funniest thing you've seen someone do.
Yeah. So I guess the fun thing of when you play this game, I guess so first of all is the lobbying thing. So people often laugh out loud when they hit some policy that really fun to read, and some policy let you to choose to fire your employees, or to get some free interns, or some policies that put your competitors or
Yeah, definitely. Zoom broke up.
Zoom's broken.
Yeah. No, but however, I can add also a point from me, given the experience that I had with the game. But actually, I go in bankruptcy twice in the same game. Because I mean, at the beginning, in particular, the balance between the cost and the revenues is really struggle. Okay, so it's easy to go in bankruptcy. And but however, talking about the fun part of the game, you have to think that you can trade resources for improving technologies. Okay, and so in that stage, for example, you can trade everything. You can trade money, you can trade people, you can trade, let me say, vote for the next lobbying stage. And so in that stage, really, you can see a lot of fun. People can invent everything to convince another person for a particular resource that they need to increase in the technology race. That's really fun to see.
Thank you. Yeah, I can see from your smiling that it was fun.
Because I'm remembering that night, frankly. Okay, let me admit again, Ionah.
Hi, sorry, I'm back again,
Yeah.
and sorry again for my internet connection. But where were I? So I was talking about the policy, so the lobbying phase as the most fun part of the game. Yeah. Have you lost me on that? Like, do I need to repeat it?
No, we got it.
Yeah,
Awesome. Okay.
Parado gave exactly the same answer when you were not online, so it's all worked very well.
Awesome. Okay. Thank
Just
you.
to close the gap where you were off. Okay. If there are no more questions, I would really love to say thank you, Ionah, for this presentation. I really love to host game designers to present this kind of game. So thank you very much for sharing this. If you want, you can still try to support the Kickstarter. You have the link in the chat here. As Ionah say, we are far from. Yes, we are far from reaching out the threshold, but however, maybe who knows? You can spread the word across your friends. Clearly.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Right. Okay. So let me show you. Yeah. Sorry if my
No, there is no
screen is
point.
frozen again.
No, the problem is Tabletop Simulator because it's a really heavy application. I know.
I
I
see.
know.
Okay, let me turn it off. Yeah, that could be the reason why. But yeah, I have a QR code to share with you, a survey. I would love to have your feedback about the sessions. And also if you want to connect with me, there's also my contacts at the end of the slide. Yeah, I'm trying to
Yeah.
share it. Looks
I
like
think you cannot. You have to re-enter, Ionah. In any case, for everyone, you can find the reference of Ionah in the meetup invitation, the page of the event. So
sure.
you can reach Ionah on LinkedIn, and then you can
Awesome.
be in contact with her.
Awesome. Yeah. I will also share the slide on the in the meetup group as well. Thank you, Corrado, and thank you everybody for this attending this session today.
No, thank you for sharing this. Really like it. And thank you
Thank
everyone
you.
for being there with us. And thank you for your question. Have a great evening.
Thank you
Yeah,
and good luck.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Ciao,
Have a good
ciao.
one. Bye.